Hi everybody, and welcome to English 101. This is Michael Goslin. I'm an assistant professor at Genesee Community College, and I teach writing English 101 and 102 mostly. And I just want to walk you through the interface here for Blackboard. If you've never taken an online class before, I should probably tell you now that the most important thing to remember is that you have to remember you're taking a class. Do not forget. Schedule some time for yourself every day or every other day to come in here and do it, because if it's not in front of your face, you just won't remember. In fact, I have had that same problem with myself sometimes. So let me show you what this looks like. Here's the navigation over here. Like a lot of websites, the nav bar is on the left. No announcements just now. Usually if I post an announcement, I'll also send it out as an email, so you will get that. Course information. The syllabus. You can either open it as a Word document or a PDF. And there's a separate file for assignments and grading as a Word document or a PDF. I would recommend you open one of these, a syllabus and an assignments and grading document, and print them so you will have them printed. Let's go back over here. I'll come back to this in a second. The whole course is separated out into modules. The first module is called the Basics of College Writing. Runs until June 7th, and you'll notice how I set up my modules. They will all look like this. When you open up the module, you'll see a folder of texts, and a text is, certainly there'll be a lot of readings. But one thing to remember is that a text can be anything. It can be something written. It can be a video, such as over here. Let's see. Here's a video here. Here's a video here. A text can also be a street sign. It can be a tweet. It can be Facebook. It can be clothing. It can be a piece of music. It can be a dance routine. It can be a film. A text is anything that people do to send a message. Just so that's clear. Keep that in your mind all the time, please. So these are the texts, the writing process. And then under the text will be the assignments. We'll come back to that in a second. The discussion board. Discussions are a big part of the course. Taking part in online discussions actually is 20% of your final grade. Please don't ignore this part of the class. It's very important. And then email. It's right here. I would prefer you use this email to contact me. Again, if for some reason Blackboard is down, you can use my Genesee account. So let's go back here and look at this. Course information. Let's open the Word document. Here it is. Okay. This course number is English 101-66. It's called College Composition. Very important. As I said, college composition is a specific way of writing. It's not like any other writing that you will ever come across. It has its own set of requirements. It has its own details, and you must learn those. You have to get them down. It's like when you take sports in high school or anywhere else. When you do drills of basketball, and my son Sam loves basketball and football, but he hates drills. But what I think a lot of people don't realize is that those drills make sure that you get it down to a reflex so that when it comes time to do it, you can think about more important things. Like he's a running back, And with all the drills he has to do, he can just get through the line and run without thinking about all the other things. So you must learn these little steps. The course starts May 26th. It ends August 8th. Hard to believe that we're already looking forward to the end of summer. Okay. Here's me, R. Michael Gosselin. You can call me Professor Gosselin if you like. Some people call me Mr. G. I'm not that concerned. Read the course description. Read the student performance outcomes. These are all straight out of the college handbook. I didn't write any of this, but read it so you can get an idea of what the course is about. Textbook. Several people have already emailed me about the fact that they were a little concerned that the bookstore didn't have the book. Well, there is no book. I don't require a textbook for this class. I've learned a little while back that everything I need, I can either give you myself or it's on the internet. I'm not going to make you spend $100 on a textbook that no one's going to use. You must be able to save papers as a Word file or in rich text format. Even if you're on on a Mac and you're using Pages, you still should be able to save the stuff as an RTF. You also need a way to read Adobe Acrobat files. You can go right on adobe.com if you need the Adobe Reader, or if you're on a Mac, you can use Preview. So take a look at this when you have a chance, just to let you know. My policies, here's the tentative course schedule. It'll probably go this way. I doubt it will change, but it still could do that. Okay, let me go back over here. Sure, here's what everybody is waiting for. Assignments and grading. There it is. There are 4 papers in the class, starting in the second module. Each of those papers is worth 20% of your final grade. The other 20% of your final grade comes from discussion questions. And at the beginning of every module, I will post specific instructions for papers and discussions of what I'm looking for. And here's how every paper should look. You're going to post your papers to SafeAssign. If you've ever used SafeAssign, you know what it's about. If you've ever used Turnitin in high school, you have a good idea. It's basically a plagiarism checker. Make sure that all your papers are in MLA style. You use Times New Roman 12-point font. I'm very picky about that. And here's the guidelines for the discussion questions. So read this. You are responsible for knowing all this stuff. And here's how I grade papers. Take a look at that. When I send a paper back to you, you'll know what the grade means. And also, I will post as many comments on your papers as time allows. Let's go back over here. Okay. So here's Module 1 again. Here are the texts. The writing process. I start off with 2 videos that you should watch. First one is an interview with someone named Annie Lennox. You may have heard of her. She was in a very popular band in the 80s called the Eurythmics. She's Welsh, I believe, and she's got a beautiful voice. But here she talks to you about how she gets ideas. And the next one is one of my favorite writers, Ta-Nehisi Coates from The Atlantic, and he also talks about how frustrating writing can be and how you can sort of get over that. And just read all this stuff and learn what's in there. Academic punctuation, common mistakes students make. Learn all this stuff. Formatting of titles in college papers is very important, so please get used to that. Everybody, not everybody, but most people make mistakes with that. How to format the title of an article, how to format the name of a website, how to format a book, so please learn that stuff. Okay. paper. Everyone's freaked out about the introductions and the conclusions, but don't worry about that too much. The middle of the paper is more important. Read all this stuff. Conducting research and using source material. I know everybody's going on the web. I do that too, but please always remember that the World Wide Web is basically a supermarket or flea market. It's not a very good place to do academic research, so always keep that in mind. Actually, the best place for you to do research is on your college databases. But there's a couple of videos here you need to watch. How to put quotes into a paper. How to use good sources from the web in a paper. And one of my favorite science writers, actually, Michelle Nijhuis, has an article called The Pocket Guide to Bullshit Prevention, essentially telling you when you do research on the web how to tell if what you're looking at is worthwhile. Okay. MLA style. Yes, it's annoying. There's a lot of details. However, you can't get around it. You have to do it. My recommendation to you is to check the MLA on a paper, essentially the last thing you should check before you send it in. And I've got some files here for the most common problems. Take a look at that, and your grade will depend on all this stuff. Finally, here's a sample paper. This is a real paper I received from a student last summer up in Albion. And it's wonderful. I changed her name. I don't know why, but I told her I would. And I annotated it. Do not do this in an MLA paper, please. MLA does not use footnotes like this. But I just did it so you could look at the various elements of a top-notch, A-level college paper. It was just terrific. So let's go back here to the assignments. Discussion boards. Again, there are no papers due for this first module, but you will have to partake in a lot of discussion boards. General discussion is going to be an open discussion board all semester. You can use it to post any questions you have or concerns about the course. I will certainly read these too, but I also encourage everybody to please go on here and respond to other students. And if a student has a question, help them out if they're not sure about something that you feel good about, and vice versa. So let me just show you one of these so you can see how it looks. Module 1 discussion. Introductions, please. Come over here. Now, what I'd like you to do is just introduce yourself to everybody. Your name, your field of study. Let me go back to what I put. Okay. Your name, where you're from, your field of study, family, friends, pets, etc. What you plan to do over the summer, anything else you'd like to share. And if you saw any good concerts, movies. I just saw Age of Ultron. It was not as good as the first movie, whatever. So, any of that stuff, because you want to introduce yourself to everybody. You just come over here, and to participate, you go here. Create thread. Text box. Put your title whatever you want, and your text box is here. You put, if you'd like to put pictures, this little thing, I'll show you how this works. Click on pictures, and it'll take you to your computer, browse. Let's go here. So, picture of me, where is it? Should pop up any second now. Come on. image description, me. Title, me. Now you will notice once you insert this, see how huge it is? Go here, expand the screen, and click on it, and see this little bounding box. Just drag it down. So you got it how you want it. Enter. Me at Chavez Eastland School. Okay. Do another one. Let's see if I do this. Oh, here's one of my son with our new puppy. Okay. Image description. Samuel Jackson. Not to be confused with Samuel Jackson. Samuel Jackson. Insert. Shrink this thing down as well. Just enter, put a caption. That's done. Close that, and then submit. If you open that, here's what you see. Okay. So that pretty much covers the interface. I think it's self-explanatory, I hope. And there are a few other things. Just remember that when your response to these discussions, you have to use a good size post. If you go on assignments and grading, it tells you how many words your responses should be. You should also use details from whatever it is you're responding to, and yes, you should respond to at least 2 other students in the class. So that about covers it, I think. So the first thing you need to do is get on here and get reading and just learn this stuff. If you have any questions, please email me or put something up on the discussion board. And this should be a fun class. I'll try to make it interesting. I'll try to give you interesting stuff to read, and we'll get through this. And once you're done, everyone has to take this class, as you know. So you'll be done, and you can move on. Okay, so talk to you later.